All right. Testing, testing. The robot is back. Let's see if we can let's see how long he lasts, how long he behaves. Got some neck control. Nice, nice. See if his eyes work again. And change eye color. Okay, good. Lens color works. Running a diagnostics test. Let's see if he can last longer than the pre-flight diagnostics, because that didn't work out so well. His main lens decided to go right off the bat, like as soon as he got power. So that was exciting. All right, and now the fun part. Let the neck loose. Oh. Warm up a little bit. Tilt back. Tilt forward. Yeah. I definitely slowed him down quite a bit. He was a little too jerky with this with the newer set of code. There we go. I'll explain that a little bit more when more people roll in. Right now we're just doing the testing here. Testing. Tilt the other side. A little faster. Oh, actually, that's pretty nice and smooth. Okay. Up and down. Up and down. Down. Ah, that's all you're gonna give me for going down? Raising. Back. Front. The eye is being a little rambunctious, so I'm definitely gonna keep an eye on you. No. Oh, that. Oh. We're gonna have eye puns tonight. Oh, but so far so good. Let's see if we can get more than a few minutes. Oh, that's interesting. I have Winamp behind me on this side instead of on the other side. Let's move that over. I have not used the just chatting screen with Live Rusty in a few months now. Let's see. Winamp, where are you? Let's go put you on the other side. There we go. Oh, and my battery's low already. Wow, that's like a record. To be fair, I was doing a lot of testing, so let's lock Rusty up here. Okay, now he can't misbehave. I do have a couple minutes to go, so well, let's see how this let's see how this model reacts. Let's go to the gaming. Why is my touch portal not going to go? You're not connected. You are not connected either. Well, we are just having all sorts of fun. I think I overloaded my USB bus earlier, because now I'm doing a video capture here as well. Let's see. What does this say? Blah, 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 blah. No. Touch portal. Go. Yes. Connect with Wi-Fi. There it goes. All right. Now theoretically I could hit the just chatting screen from anywhere across the room. Ooh, we can test this out. Oh, look at that, look at that, look at that. Okay. You see right next to Winamp? Can you see my cursor? Right over here. I had a flashing battery. That is perfect. Okay. I will be right back. Gotta get a battery. Gotta get a battery. Charge the battery. Do. All right. That was gonna be painful. Trying out the new battery tripod. New battery tripod? Camera tripod. Swapping out the batteries. And should be as easy as that. Do. Hey, how are we doing? Interesting that the Rusty's motion tracking was picking me up from across the room. So that's pretty interesting. Okay, now our battery icon is not flashing down here, so that's nice. All right. We pretty much survived that battery change. Let's, we look vaguely out of focus though. Let's go back to just chatting. No, we are definitely out of focus. Oh. Easter eggs on the shelf behind us. What do you see? What do you see? What do you see on the shelf behind us? As we adjust the focus. Got an Atari joystick. Oh, actually Atari joystick. Where are you? There you are. Got a Saturn. The Dreamcast hiding behind Rusty. Oops, too much focus. Too much focus. And there we go. That's looking pretty good. For some reason, I could not lock the exposure, the ISO on the camera. Hello, duck. Could not lock the exposure on the camera, so it's sadly auto-adjusting. I have to try and figure out what settings I'd used last time. Okay, unlock the neck. There we go. And now the eye. Yeah, you can behave. Okay, looks like he's actually being behaved for once. And oh, I do need to add a little oil to the aperture. It's a little sluggish until you get it going. There you go. So, this is the Rusty that Virtual Rusty is based on. In fact, I used the some of the CAD files to actually design the low poly one to make sure the scale was actually right on. And I don't think I have quite enough light in here, so the face tracking on Robo Rusty might be a little sketchy. We'll see what we can do here. Plus, he was misbehaving earlier, so I think his eye up-down servo might be a little bit off. No, not left down. Left right. Because somebody decided he wanted to go way outside of bounds. He wanted to go 180 degrees down. 180 degrees? Yeah, I think it's either 0 or 180, which is the lens pointing straight down. Which, according to the code, it is not allowed to do. However, sometimes the Unity to Arduino sender just goes and I don't know. It's just a sometimes thing. Just a sometimes thing. But yes, here he is. He's live. I was going to check before stream, check my VODs to see when the last time he was live. My guess would be probably the end of April, actually. Ah, working on your duck. Now, is that a 3D duck? Because I forget. I think you were going to do a 3D model, right? Now, are you a duck? Like a ducked duck or a anthropomorphic duck? Like Howard the Duck. Because either way it can be terribly amusing. Okay. You behaving yourself over there? I'm actually running 2 computers right now. We got Rusty's computer, which is over here. So if I keep glancing over this way, that's a check on him. And then the other computer is these screens. So I'm going to be looking all over the place. Who's the V2? Mori Calliope. For a long time, viewers couldn't figure out why on earth her eyes would flutter all over the place on her she had a 2D model. They couldn't figure out, it's like, why? Is her eye tracking just goofy or something? No, I think it's because she had her monitor stacked. So whatever she was, playing or whatever was right in front of her. And then I think chat and like OBS were above that monitor. So she'd be constantly looking at it and her eye tracking would just keep fluttering up and down all the time. So I don't quite have that problem, except I will be glancing from side to side. And my tracking cameras, I will pretty much be guaranteed to bump his tracking camera at some point because it is, I'm holding it right here actually. I would love for it to be right about here, but I need to make another mount on this monstrosity of a desk setup here. Ah, Howard the Duck. Cool. Okay. Wait, do I have your neck? Oh, did I not unlock his neck? Or did it stop going? Uh-oh, Rusty. Well, we got, wait, which one's neck? No, that's the neck unlock. Why is your neck not going? Power's on. Yeah, your power's on. And you're getting power to that servo. Welcome to the debugging stream. Okay. What's going on here? Turn. Neck is enabled. Let's do some manual work here. Let's move your tracking camera. You know what? I'm in the right column anyways, right? Software and design, software and development? Okay, let's see. Well, the code is sending, because there's the eye control. And that should be the neck control. So this will lock the eyes. Yep. Okay, we got that. Let's lock his eye while we're playing with this. Neck is enabled according to the code. Why are the servos not moving? So right now I'm forcing the nod and the tilt. Debugging stream. All right. Let's see. What are we doing? What is inside your wallet? You're still connected. You're getting power. Are you getting power? Should I lick my fingers and stick them in there? He hasn't crashed. I mean, he didn't crash. Usually when he decides to really crash, then I have to reseat some of the pins. Well, that is interesting and unfortunate at the same time. All right, let's click that. Click that. Do the eyes still work? Wow. All right, let's reboot the Rusty. And get ready for some herky-jerky motion. This will be fun. This will be fun, exciting. All right, and let's see. Back there. And hope nothing breaks. Let's see. Rediscover our Arduino. Click on the thing. Make sure VC face is being behaved. VC face is actually our intermediary for the tracking data. Funny enough, on both computers. All right, and what's gonna happen? This is the mystery part that always drives me nuts. Okay, release the neck. Hey, all right. Yeah, this is interesting. Why the two large servos failed. Okay, let's try the eye. And try the... Well, we're back. I think we're back. I'll definitely be keeping an eye on him this time around. Haha. So it's interesting looking at Rusty's code over on this monitor. Oh, yeah, I shouldn't do that. Move that camera back. And, is it better? Come on, look up. Look up. Look up. There we go. So I added in a bunch of smoothing code. And I think it's a little too much on the neck. There we go. Oh, and I don't have the blink linked up yet. I really want to link up the blink so when I blink, he automatically, oops, click, he automatically blinks. Like the virtual Rusty model here. Blink, blink. Yeah. So the movement's fine. I don't know if you can hear the servos or the poor ancient computer that he's running on. Yeah, let me know if you can hear the servos. The microphone used to pick up when the neck would bind, but I changed the neck around. Yeah, I changed the neck around. So if you look at old picture, let's see if I can drag up a... Where is fake Rusty? Rusty fake. Fake camera? There we go. I swap the pictures out. The picture looks so much cleaner in this. So I gotta play with my camera settings and get this one instead of this. Because this looks more tan. I wonder what I was doing differently for lighting in this room. So not fake Rusty. This stock photo of Rusty, we'll call it. He had 3 gears for his neck. You can see the little red box is a servo motor. So it's a little tiny motor with a bunch of gears and sensor in it. And that's how you get the up and down. So if we tilt our head this way and let's move. Let's move him just a little bit. There we go. This way? There we go. There we go. Now you can see some of the different servos at work. So it's funny to be making these head movements and still trying to VTube at the same time. So now you can see, well, actually you can't see the servo's gear. So here's that red box from before. That's the servo motor. There's a little gear hiding in the middle back here. And that drives this oops, come on. It drives this larger gear in the front. He doesn't want to tilt his head back that far. Okay, that's fine, that's fine. That is interesting, that the tracking just does not want to do that. But anywho, so yes, so there's a big gear right there that is being driven, and that controls the nodding. I'm just gonna call it up and down or nodding. And then the side to side, there's a same model of servo up inside of the middle of Rusty's head. And that, let's see, there you go. A very similar large gear right there. Except that one, that gear stays put. And the head rolls back and forth on that servo. Was this the greatest design choice? No, not especially. Because there is a lot of weight and a little room for wiggle room on Mr. Rusty here. And my neck is not moving back and forth like I want it to. Let's pick that back up. There we go. And his neck is not actually hooked up to a motor right now because I don't have any servos powerful enough to handle the back and forth. And so he is manually controlled by a foot pedal. And I actually designed the foot pedal on stream quite a while back in Fusion. So it got catted up Uses a bicycle brake line. So the little bike cable. And it's on a foot pedal, which definitely has a lot of resistance to it. So, I don't know if the sound is picking that up. Now, ideally, one of the things I want to do, as I can't really lean. You don't like it when I lean down like that. Face tracking. Okay, so one of the things I want to do with this, with the project here, is as I get more used to it and maybe unlock affiliate and some some income with Mr. Rusty here, YouTube videos or something. Want to get steppers in here, like on a 3D printer, and 3D printer steppers will be plenty to run this guy. So I'd like to get it at least for the turning of the head. The neck, we'll call it the neck. Turning of the neck and nodding, because then I think that would be, he needs just a little bit more power, and I think he'd be a lot smoother. Oh, and the neck stopped. So how many minutes was that? That was not that long. I'm very curious as to why the neck times out. It can't be that he doesn't have enough power. Yeah, and we're still talking to the Arduino. Hello, let's get the eye back. Well, this will be something for debugging purposes later, I think. So for now, we can go back and forth, and still has a crink in his neck. Even try the manual controls here, and nope, no luck on the neck. That is interesting and bizarre at the same time. Not a fan. Should we just have him stare off into space? Hello. Okay, we're gonna restart him one more time. Put his neck in a different position so he's not staring off into space. Okay. Lock the eye. Click on there, then lock the eye. Pause, Rusty. I can hear the computer breathing a sigh of relief. I wonder if it's a computer issue. Let's see. Okay, now let's make sure he's okay. Try again. This track is really crunchy. Okay, how are we doing for neck? Okay, we're just gonna lock the neck right there. Rusty, rusty, rusty. All right. So, now that we've done some testing and found out that somebody's misbehaving, I don't know if I want to add more servos in there. So my next project, or 2 projects down the line at least, for IRL Rusty, was to first I was going to rewrite his code again because I found out how to read blend shapes instead of what I'm currently using here. Is I'm currently reading the joint rotation data and translating that into degrees for the servos for how far they should turn, and some extra control code on there for, I can show you some extra control code for funsies, because I do stuff like smoothing, so when I move real fast, the servo doesn't just go clunk or, you know, strip out, because these motors and gears are like, well, they're that big. Let's see. Let's just load up any of these. Get my Visual Studio going. Rusty joint. Oh, hey, and you can't see any of that. Let's go to gaming stream. All right. So I found out, you can see this? Yeah, you can finally see this. That is Winamp. It really whips the llama's ass. Ooh, tangent, because I love tangents, and I think I'm allowed to use tangents because it's in the tags. Where it whips the llama's ass is a reference to a visualizer designer. What was his name? Jeff Mittner, I want to say. I think I'm right on that. He made tons of visualizers for music programs and such, including, I think, one on the Xbox, the original Xbox. And so they threw in a little Easter egg to that. I found out he's been making games, still making games, mind you, since the 80s. I have a few Commodore 64 games by him. But yes, Winamp. Instead of having a fancy Spotify link streaming thing, I literally have application capture for Winamp. Window capture? Which one is it? I'm curious now. It is window capture, yep. But yes, so we have, you have not been here before, so hey. Oh, actually, I did totally buy these songs. These are not off of LimeWire or Kazaa. These are free for streamers from Backing Track. And yeah, so fun thing about owning your own music instead of streaming it, I have a couple of boxes, moving boxes full of CDs that have moved a number of times, and they have not even been opened this last time or two that I had to move because I have all of it ripped to MP3. You know, sometimes it's fun to, you know, swap the CDs around, and sometimes you just don't want to mess with it. Oh, Rusty, what are you doing? What are you doing? He is not being Have right now. Which is eye back. But yes. Distracted me by mentioning Winamp. Rusty the robot is mostly functional. He is currently misbehaving. His neck actually his two larger servos that do neck, so this and side to side, they stop working after about 5 minutes or so. Let's see if I wonder if we just need to give him a break and then he'll come back. Let's find out. Let's see how long it takes him to get stuck. So I'm actually using VTubing gear to control Robot Rusty. Oh, something's clicking in there. He must be binding a little bit. Somewhere inside this beautiful noggin, something is binding. Yes. Got him cheap made with spare parts. But no, something inside of his noggin is not working quite as it's supposed to. And this is his third or fourth different electronics configuration. Let's see, I'll show you some spaghetti. Here's the current spaghetti. Oh, you can't see that. Let's go back to, there we go. Here's his current spaghetti. Not entirely sure what the problem is this time. The smaller servos are all working, but the two big servos, including this one right there, that's the side to side, which runs this gear, and the one on his neck that you can't see in this photo. For some reason, I don't know if they're drawing too much power. They should be getting plenty of power. They have a, I don't want to say a 6 amp power adapter on there. But anyways, so the neck's not working, but the eye's working at least. Can we zoom in? Can we zoom? Oh, zoom in doesn't work. I thought I connected that. Zoom in? Darn. Display. Nope, not that one. I thought I had a shortcut for it. There it is. Knew I had a shortcut for it somewhere. Oh no, this is the 3D model, and this is a actual robot, I want to say. Someday I do want to do a troll high def model where it is just you know, that guy in 3D. No, he is sitting here across the room. Yeah, it's using an actual camera here, which I had to change the battery on once already because I was testing it this afternoon. Oh, and now we're out of focus, of course. You got some technician fingers here. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear that clicking. Something is... He did misbehave right before stream when I was setting him up. He decided to... the lens decided to pop straight down, which it's not supposed to be able to do. And so I had to squish some stuff back together. But no, that is actual stuff. Yep, he's running an Arduino. So on another computer, he is, let's see, I'm using Meowface, actually, instead of a webcam. So that's sending the tracking data from a phone over to Rusty's computer, which is hiding down on the floor over there. And then, oh, I've got his code right behind me here. So that computer is running vCface, which, you know, grabs all the movement data, just like on virtual Rusty and, you know, all VTubers. vCface is sending the OSC data to Unity, and Unity has an program that I wrote. Here's some of the code for Rusty, and sends that over to Arduino, which is inside of Rusty's noggin, and that's what moves the servos. So it's this code behind me here. It literally reads the rotation data off the 3D model. Oh, I would love to have ARKit. Technically, I'm using ARKit blend shapes on virtual Rusty because I'm running it through NVIDIA Broadcast. But I do want to pick up a used iPhone at some point. Slightly more accurate and less resource intensive. So yeah, as I'm scrolling through here, this is some of the code that sends Rusty's robot Rusty's code here. So the fun story is that the VTuber model was originally just going to be the backup for when he was misbehaving. But I started getting a lot more into 3D again. So I hadn't touched, aside from some CAD work and 3D printing, I hadn't really touched 3D in 8 years. I got teased for using Maya 2016 on stream a few weeks ago. Well, that's the last version I bought back when I was doing freelance work. Now, which button was that? This button. All right. I haven't used my camera capture in a long time. I think it was, telling Ducky earlier, I think it was April before I took him apart and was supposed to be easy recoding because he had neck binding issues where he'd lock up when moving. No, are we losing the eye again? Maybe we're losing the eye again. So I rewrote a bunch of the code, and that didn't do quite what I wanted to. He started using different servo libraries for... Oh, that's his mouse. I have 3 mouses on my desk right now. Started using I used a different servo library, which you won't see here because that's on the Arduino itself. And then I also went through a couple different boards because I wanted to add more servos, and I didn't have enough little spots on the Arduino board, the main board, to hook up all these servos. So I tried and failed on a couple of things. So the current spaghetti mess, which I brought up before, is much better organized, and it actually provides all the power needed to these servos instead of before where it did not, because I was using a knockoff board apparently. This little bitty board right here, and all these cables go to the different little motors. So for instance, this is the back of the lens inside his head. Right there. And here's the little motor that controls his blink. Oh, let's sync him up. See? So part of my next project is to switch everything from reading from the VTubing, software pipeline, from reading the actual joints rotations, which is what it's doing right now, to reading the blend shapes actually. Because as I dug into it, the eye left and right is a blend shape, so I can just send that data instead of trying to calculate very messily try to calculate joint rotation in Unity. Yes. And it's also this guy can move a little smoother. But I do need to track down why his large servos are not moving properly. Will they work right now is the question. Yeah. So I don't know what it is. They're definitely getting enough power. They're definitely getting enough power because, the power supply is good. But something up with Rusty. There'll be more testing. More testing. So I'm just happy he's back. I do have to print up some more parts here too for him. I want to rework how the jaw is all connected, the mouth, and add some lighting in there so it appears that I'm talking more. Kind of like how I'm going to do the same thing with my virtual model. Rework that so it's more like I'm talking. And most importantly for Robot Rusty, he needs eyebrows. So that'll be 4 more. Oops, I have 3 fingers. 4 more. There we go. Now I can count. 4 more servos up there. I was trying to narrow it down to less, but I think we'll just go with 4 for now. Because nothing says, I have emotions and expressions like the eyebrows. That is actually what led me into the how to read the blend shapes and perusing the ARKit website. There's 52 different flavors. 52 different flavors of blend shapes. I think one of my stream titles was 52 flavors of pain. But yes. Then I would like to take, there's a whole roadmap here. I should really write it down. Well, the whole roadmap is I want to only use one tracking camera and then just have it piggyback that data over to the next system. So for instance, here, Virtual Rusty, there's a camera right in front of me here. Would love to replace that with an iPhone for the beautiful ARKit tracking. Take that data, use it either in VCFace, which is the guy in the corner of the screen. Well, that currently, VCFace uses that data to display me, hi. But then continue sending that same data over to Unity. And in Unity, this is fun. I'm either going to use Unity, like Unreal, same idea, different software. Hi. Hello. So I'm either going to replace VCFace, the guy in the corner, with the guy in the middle of the screen, just because it's just a nicer, more beautiful, rendering quality, and you can do fun stuff, better lighting, more effects and stuff. And it's just fun. And right now I can run around. I can still use the leap tracking and everything. But let's see. Oh yes, but I want to also then continue to send that signal on all the tracking data over to Robot Rusty, so I don't have to have a separate camera going, which is better chance for me to block it with my hands and have do fun stuff like this, where I'm blocking the tracking data. So, roadmap. Steps, goals, even stuff I should be writing down, or at least make a flowchart that I can just pull up and be like, here is how it works. Oh, but yes, I'm definitely going to keep blocking my poor little webcam tracker. Where are we? There we go. Better? Okay. And it's funny because I have to make sure that I glance over at my OBS to this way. So I'm pointing right at myself now. So this way I have OBS set up on a monitor, because that's the only way I can see the camera output. Otherwise I have to look way over this way to look at the actual robot sitting next to me. So this is even more than when it was just glancing at OBS to make sure that the stream is still streaming over here. My Unity right now? Yeah, Unity right in front of me. But now I have to look at my other monitor and the robot way over yonder in the corner of my eyes. My feisty boy over there. But yes, I don't even know where I started on this whole thing. Welcome, everyone. Let's go back to the office. There we go. Oh, another thing. I want VTuber rooms to come back into style, because I wanted one and I missed out on that trend. So I'm making my office. Most of this is the demo pack, the asset packs office. But I want my office. I think it'd be, actually, I should make a couple different rooms. One of them should definitely be a fake out for actual Rusty. What was that? What was that, mister? Are you misbehaving again? No. Okay, he's like a puppy right now. I looked over at him and he's like, "No, I did not pee on the floor. I did not pee on the floor. I am behaving perfectly within parameters." He's lying. He is not behaving within parameters. I'm watching you. And he's listening. Fun fact, he is actually listening now. Gotta get used to my buttons again. If you look real close, in between the eyes, there's a little LED action. I do have a microphone hooked up to him, so that he can, display the audio signals too. That was a fun thing I just added recently. So if I want, I can go, "Hey, are you listening?" Yep, no. There we go. But yeah, the main thing is really why do his servos not work quite right? So we have to work on that. Oh, we also have to work on the music. Though I think I might load up the other playlist. Backing track. Not Sleepwave, because that was a little too mellow for me. As it turned out, it was kind of putting me to sleep. There. Okay, are we back? No, wait, where'd the cursor go? There we go. Where are we? Okay, in my notes, right in front of me here, I need to attach a virtual post-it note. Let's see, what were we gonna work on? VMC controlled. Wait a sec. What? I clicked on the wrong thing and it opened up a whole new set of possibilities. Besides this purple bloom effect, let's move over just a little bit. We're still kind of in the purple bloom. Did I lock my camera again? I locked my camera again. We have to show that we have stocks and profits. There. Okay. So where was I? Where was I just hiding? We were just hiding. Oh, hey, it works again. I love it. I'm really tearing through the battery though. Holy crap. Why are we tearing through the battery? I bet I have the camera on some wrong settings, because usually I was able to get like 50 minutes out of a battery. I don't have a power adapter for this camera. It's on the shopping list. So what I ended up doing is, if you look in the lower corner by Winamp over there, right over here, I have a I have a flashing battery indicator. How did you get that into your setup, your interface? This is beautiful. I am so proud of this. I am duplicating the camera. So I duplicated the source in OBS, and I masked out the area where the little battery indicator is. So it takes that little bitty corner up there, and it's its own source down here in the corner of the screen. So when it starts flashing, I know I have like 5 minutes and I have to change the battery. One of the little things that I'm very proud of myself for, because it amuses me. All right, let's see. Let's lock Rusty's eyes so you don't go crazy. Crazy-er. Okay. See, is he locked? Okay, he's locked. I will hunt for my other battery, and I will be right back. Behave while I'm gone. Watching you. Watching you, chat. Battery. Gonna change Mr. Rusty's batteries. Whoop. Oh man, I gotta take the whole camera off. Staring off into space. Singing you guys a little song. I wonder if I'm going at a different frame rate than I should be. And why it would only last... I mean, it did last like 40 minutes or so. So I'll give it that. My camera, I'm just within range that it can kind of pick me up. Okay, and why does it start off blurry? That's the real question. I guess when you turn it on, it so when you turn the camera on, it sets the lens back to the middle or something. Alright, and take this battery over here. Funny thing is, now we have to go back to... Hello. We have to go back to just chatting. Just chatting. I call it just chatting because that's what my my scene is called here in OBS. Alright. Adjust the actual camera for actual Rusty. Right about... Nope, too far. So I'm fighting auto ISO. So that's interesting. I did not have this problem last time I was... last time I used Rusty for this purposes. Or Rusty, the camera. The camera, hello. Did not have that problem last time. So, time to actually write down settings. Like, what did I actually do? How did I set up Mr. Rusty's settings here to for streaming? Gone too long. So I think right now I'm going to keep him to maybe just a few times, maybe once a week. Maybe once a week we'll bring the robot out. At least until I have a better handle on why he's misbehaving. Oop. Unlock his eyes. But maybe I should make a high def version of Rusty. Nice RTX textures, actual RTX, not the streamer's RTX. Actual high def textures, and I could just be faking it. I could just be playing right now. It could all be a performance. That's just a 3D model there in the corner with his glorious cardboard, scavenged office supplies, and a little bit of 3D printing there, mashed all together. And it's totally not a real camera either. There we go. So, tangent complete. I was I was looking, I clicked in the wrong spot. I meant to click on the armature, but I clicked on receiver. So receiver is, I don't know if you can see it at the top of the screen, it says EVMC for you. That stands for Easy Virtual Motion Capture for you. It's one of the ways you can get VR tracking or trackers for VR. You can get that tracking data into Unity. Oh, I forgot I should be using my mug for that. Let's see, let's try that again. There we go. My very quickly and shoddily modeled mug. I will come back to it and plug the hole at the bottom of the mug sometime. Maybe with the next export. So I've added a few things to update that this model does not have. And the model in the center really doesn't have. Like, he does not have the headset. I do. There we go. Oh, so yes, the VMC tracking data. So easy virtual motion capture for you. And it's a little hard for me to read, so I had to follow tutorials. So what I saw here, I'm familiar with this screen. We have basically the models you want to hook into it, which is the guy in the center of the screen. Not the guy on the other side of the screen. He does not use... Wait a second, does he? He does! Oh, hey. Even Robot Rusty uses this to grab and get the motion capture data into Unity so we can use it. And behind us here, some of this options. Blend shape filter enabled. Blend shape filter. Oh, okay. I should probably look at more in depth in there, but it's been doing exactly what I wanted to for a long time. See? Ta-da! Okay, so one of the things I saw is camera receiver. VMC controlled camera. So I'm wondering if what that means is I don't use VR chat. I'm not set up for that. I wonder if I should be. Like, say I get a tracker. Would that tracker be in software, or would that be, you know, like, is that data being received from VR, or is that if I have a tracker, a tracking unit attached to a real life thing, whether it be a camera or just a stand-in, you know, a proxy for a camera. So it's like, let's say I want to be a vlogger. Let's just use that as an example. Can I hold this tracker in my hand, or set it to my hand? Actually, that might not be a bad idea. And then hold it, and it would, you know, it would follow me around instead of me having to click and, you know, move this around. I could have it attached to my hand, or my hand tracking, and move that around. Can I steal that and attach, you know, maybe toggle my leap motion hand tracking here, toggle that so I can make it the camera controller. Exciting stuff. What else do we have? Communication validator. Okay, that's neat. Probably debugging stuff. Device receive. Ooh, look at that. There's some math going on here. Ew. Ew. So these, gross. I say gross because getting the angles off of this data was hell for the Rusty project over there, which is why I'm not directly grabbing the VMC data, because I had a hard time wrapping my head around vectors and quaternions and fun stuff like that. So Robot Rusty is literally just reading the joint rotations off of a 3D model and then sending that data over to the, messing with the data and sending that data in degrees over to the servo controllers. So when one of these sets of numbers here, controls the eye, right? And so it's like the rotation of the eye. I don't know if it's like the direction it's looking at. I have no idea how it calculates that. So it takes that data, sends it over, and the software that I wrote grabs the 3D model's joint rotation for the eye, so I can see which XYZ, yeah, which rotation data it's using, and I send over the valid stuff over. So it's a hacky workaround. Oh, and here's next receivers, so I could send this over to another object. Oh, that's cool. Tracker. Neat. Interesting that it's only sending over six sets of data. Or maybe this is only receiving, because it's also got all the blend shapes and everything too. Look at me, yammer on. VMC controlled light. Wow. Input receiver. MIDI note input. Ooh. Oh, this is kind of cool. This is interesting. Interesting stuff. I will definitely have to read more of the documentation, or translated documentation. My Japanese is very, very not good. But here is where my stuff is. And what is next on the list here? Do not block poor Rusty's eyes. Rolly wheel can zoom, head swap no work. Okay, so last time we found out that my code for the head swapping doesn't work so well. Oh, can we not? Is that the right mouse? I keep thinking I'm grabbing Rusty's mouse instead. There we go. Let's just change the scenery a little bit. There we go. That's a good one. Get back to work in the background. So, I believe I had it. Yep, B. Oh, wow, that is way off. It was not this far off last time. That is interesting. I have no idea why it is offset now. It wasn't like this last time. I must have adjusted something while I was in play mode. Because that's kind of uncanny. And you can see also, I don't know if you can see, but I can see that there's different, because I'm outside now. There. Outside. See? In space. So the emissive textures for the eyes are different between the two models. The motion controlled one glows just a little bit more, so I'll have to, oops. Wow, that's disconcerting. Hi. This one. No. Well, if I don't have just the right combination here, this is something, isn't it? No? No, we're all... There we go. The right combination. Yep. Update textures. Update. Emissive. There we go. Emissive setting. There we go. Because one of these is set up for VTubing. This one. There, I can kind of line up. One of these is set up for VTubing. And the other one is set up for controlling with gamepad, or in this case, the keyboard. However, Monday's experiment was to see if I could have the lovely video capture, the lovely motion captured head with the computer player controlled body. So in this case, I'm walking, I'm jumping. The experiment was kind of successful. If I cheat and kind of line it up, I can fake it a little bit. But no. So off stream, I'm going to be looking at something called animation masking in Unity. It's a... Uh-oh. Can I not have the... There's an easy fix for that. Bam, destroyed. Okay. So, animation masking. It's where you let different animations affect different parts of the body, or the armature. Avatar? Oh, avatar here. In this case, I want to have like the head and part of the neck be controlled by the motion capture software, and have the other part of the neck down controlled by the controller. It's called a controller, but the player controls, so running, jumping, etc., etc. So we've got this, but I don't know how it works. I want to figure out how it works, but I don't want to be just sitting here watching tutorials and reading these things on screen or on stream, because I don't know, wouldn't be fun for me. I doubt it'd be fun for you guys. But yes, I know you can mask them, and I looked up how, and I saved some videos for later. Yeah, that kind of worked. It's interesting how the tracking can be slightly off. There we go. Another fun thing is that I can actually use some of this in Rusty the Robot's code. Not this per se, but some of what I've been learning here. Oops. Here, I can use with his stuff. So that's exciting that I can reuse the scripts and just some of the knowledge in other projects that are mostly unrelated. So that's neat. Because honestly, this is all a hobby for me. I do not currently have plans to be a game developer. I develop fun business software in my day job, so I'm familiar with coding and all that fun stuff. Visual Studio, in there every day. My code looks just as actually, this doesn't look that bad. This is my nicer looking code. Sorry, boss. I'm in there every day, and I don't know. I'm not sure I want to. I don't have a game idea right now, so if I do, I would join a team to work on something, some fun indie project probably. But right now, I'm having fun with this hobby, and I want to make myself a let's see, better V2. Better. I'm gonna put that in quotes. I want to make my own. There we go. Make my own VTubing interface software. I'm not gonna use this whole demo level, but it is a good place to start for learning how to do some of the stuff, because I'm just jumping in. As it says, I'm a Unity newbie. And so this is an asset pack from Cinti, low polygon stuff. I think most of their stuff is low polygon. There's a space pack, and here's part of the office pack. And yeah, I want to make make my own little office. Have it be my room, my just chatting room, you know, basically. And just have fun with it. You know, how cool is it to run around in your own video game, basically? You know, it's kind of like Code Miko when she first started. You know, she had her room she streamed from, and had stuff like the you know, guys running around in the background. You know, the chat, the people who's running around in the background and interacting with the environment, and that was all just that. See, that was a lot of fun. I miss some of the VTuber rooms, their own environments. I call them rooms, but they're VTuber environments where they just, you know, they hang out. I think a lot of people are going back to basics and having just the avatar on screen, not even like, you know, subs or just, you know, the chat scrolling by and stuff. Some of them are going just having the game and the avatar. I mean, really here for the streamer's personality and interaction, so most people are, I would think. But no, I'm here to make fun stuff, like fun stuff I've wanted to make, like, you know, my own environment, my own game level for myself, basically. And then that robot guy over there, which I started like 2 years ago now. Only work on him occasionally when I can. Should we see if the neck is still operational? I'm wondering if it's just the servos only last so long. Okay. So this experiment tells me, because I had the neck locked for probably like a 20 plus minutes now. So this tells me that for some reason the servos, the two head control servos, we'll call them. So the tilt, nod and tilt, they only run for 5 to 10 minutes. I'll have to time it next time. They run for less than 10 minutes before they just stop receiving commands. So I wonder what that's about, because obviously they still work. You know, either I reboot his software, or like just now I had him locked for a while. Locked, I mean, there's a software lock. It doesn't send any commands for those servos to listen to. More testing. More testing. That's why he's also not fully assembled yet either. Work in progress. That's why I should have titled the stream Work in Progress. Work is progressing progressively. Okay, but let's see. Go back to that. All right, so scrolly wheel camera zoom, that is also on the to-do menu. I found code for that, and we'll implement that maybe off screen. See, right now I just have zoom code and, oh, not just zoom code. Good. Oops. No, don't. No. Crap. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Hit the wrong button. Hooray for a fast computer that can build the scene so fast. Okay. I should disable the head swap. Okay, what do we got? We working? Okay, good, we're working. There's the lock button. And if we go to my code, or not code, we go to this little script here. So I can scrolly the field of view in and out. When I was looking up code for how to do that with the scrolly wheel, which I don't have hooked up right now, I do have a key mapped. It's V for zoom, where it goes between two values. I do have that, but when I was looking up code, how to do this, how to camera, mouse wheel, scroll, zoom. Turns out this is not the preferred way to do it, the field of view. Because technically it's changing the focal length, sort of. You can't quite do this on a real camera. For instance, actual Rusty, the camera in the corner here, that is the equivalent of a 50 millimeter camera lens. It's technically it's a 25 millimeter on a Olympus camera, which comes out to 50 millimeter on a film camera. So what we have here is we are adjusting this as if we were playing with the zoom on a zoom lens. That does not zoom. That's a fixed at 50 millimeters. So the interesting thing about that is this camera, say physical, this virtual camera is not moving backwards to zoom in and out. That makes sense, right? However, you can go way the heck back. So is it actually adjusting the field of view, or is it moving backwards? But apparently the proper way to zoom it is to actually, when you use the scrolly wheel, is to actually move the virtual camera out instead of using this field of view. And it's funny, I can hear Rusty's servos over there. As I talk with my hands, they keep passing in front of his camera, his motion tracking camera. That's why I want to get that camera mounted up above the monitor instead of where I keep talking with my hands. So anyways, apparently in recent versions of Unity, it's very important to find the solutions for the right version of Unity, because they change stuff every couple of years. So anyways, in this version of Unity, they attached something to the cinema machine somewhere in here. You can call a function that just unlocks the scroll wheel to use for zooming in and out. They don't have it over here on the side of the monitor, side of the screen, but you can expose, not unlock. You can expose the code of the script to do that. So that's cool. I could do that right now, actually. Got a couple of minutes yet. So yeah, it's somewhere in here, I think. Ooh. Cinema Machine storyboard. That's interesting. Oh, but also interesting, you know, a few streams ago, I was trying to add lovely post-processing effects, which I did get working. Oh, over here. Yeah, you can't use in the universal render pipeline, which I'm using for rendering. You can't use this camera's post-processing effect. It's a whole thing. I finally found the right Q&A that told me that it was not the right thing. Unity. I'm sure Unreal has its own fun quirks like that too. Okay, so we're gonna have to pause this. Go back to our code. All right. So somewhere in here, I can just add in another field. Except the tutorial that I found did it like a thorough way. We'll say thorough. You always have that wise guy in the comment section who's just like, "Oh, why didn't you do it the easy way?" Well, do you want it done easy or done right, or do you want some kind of combination of both of those? So, oh yeah, that is definitely definitely a combination of all these things. Okay, so what kind of camera do I have? Cinema machine. Do I have the free look? Do I have... Free look is not an option. Well, that's interesting. Okay, well, we don't need to save at least, so that's fun. Oh my gosh, okay. Let's see if we can do this before I have to call it quits for the night. Gosh, I love this sometimes. Oh, why can't we do that? Okay, well, we'll try that anyways. New access state. I'll just copy his numbers right from the tutorial. False. True. 50F. What is 50F? Okay, we got a min, a max. Okay, that makes sense. Wrap. Range locked. True. That's nice. Max speed 50. Okay. What's it got? 0.1. Acceleration time. Let's do 0.1 again for decel time. String name. Apparently this is important. Roll wheel. Which I think I'm going to have to go declare in the controller. And false. What is it? Invert. Oh, invert look. Ha! Nice. I assume that's what that means. There. So, allegedly, that gives us what we need for that. What does he have? Camera free look cam. Cinema machine. See, I don't have a cinema machine. I don't have a free look camera. I have a player follow camera. Or at least that's what it's called because it's from the demo. So let's just see if we can plug in. Let's see if we can plug in this guy to it. What do you think, Virtual Rusty? Virtual Rusty? Yeah, he's still behaving. Move this so I can see if my power's fluctuating. Yep. Okay, wow. I'd say the stress test is going pretty good for Robot Rusty. Should him look up? Look down? Yeah, we're taking a rusty break. That's what we'll call this. We'll call this a rusty break. I think I clamped down on his head tilt too much. I'm going to change some of the code on his net or his nod. We'll call it the nod. I have this set to tilt. I believe I have it called. This nod. It just doesn't quite have the range it used to because I used to have a multiplier so that it seemed a little more exaggerated. So I wouldn't have to crank my neck, crank my actual head, you know, far in either direction in order to get the movement out of the robot. So I think I might put that multiplier back in now that I know he's going to behave himself. At least somewhat behave himself. And I think part of the tracking issue maybe might just be that he doesn't have I don't have enough light for this software to get all the capture data super well. So I need to add a little bit more light at my face. There's some VTuber behind the scenes here. Not that this whole project isn't a big behind the scenes. Where were we? We were unlocking, or revealing this. Looks like we don't actually need a void start. Oh, we are dropping frames like crazy. What is going on here? Why are we dropping frames? Oh, a little bit better. There we go. We have stream health again. How are we doing? I saw out of the corner of my eyes, a little meter went red. So it's very interesting that it went red, but the bandwidth was actually higher. I had more bandwidth, but less frames. Computers are weird. Okay. Let's see. Oops, that is not the right one. Here we go. Oh, let's see. At the start of that code, he gets the original orbit, which I don't really care about. But in the update, let's put it after the keybind. If it's not, no, original orbits, what is that? Original orbits. If that's not null, then we learn. Oh, I do need that. Oh, interesting. So what this code does here, I put this on the screen. Not that it makes a whole lot of sensey. Might not make a whole lot of sense. So I screenshotted this so I wouldn't need to keep pausing on a video. So it grabs the orbits of the camera. So basically this camera, it orbits around the player in the third person. Makes sense. So this code here grabs the camera. I'll explain this kind of the easy version. This grabs the camera, this makes a maximum minimum zoom. So the, puts a cap on both ends of the zoom, how far it can go. This is what we just did, so we can use the scrolly wheel. Here, start is called before the first frame. So yeah, so to initialize what we're doing here, it assigns or grabs and assigns value to makes it to the camera. As if there's a camera. But grab the original values of where the camera is before you started scrolling. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, so it does that for all the orbits. Because I think there's 3 orbits technically. Head, body, and ground. Now down here, can you still see? Yeah. Down here is where it does the actual work, like when you're scrolly. Here we go, Z-axis update. So if, see, he puts in his safety code. Good programmer, right? So here says that if there's something there, if there are orbits, then do the things. So it grabs the scrolly, figures out how much zoom it should be doing, and then goes through and assigns that zoom to the camera. Okay, so I do need to grab the camera and put some orbits in. But I'm only using one of the orbits, so I wonder if I should just test it with one of the orbits. And then I won't be using this anymore. The field of view. So I'll have to rewrite some of this too, because this also controls my depth of field. That's the main reason. It not only controls my focus distance, but the distance between the camera and the player armature up here. I'm just talking through all this. More for my benefit than you guys, actually. All right, so where's my screenshot? So we do actually need the orbits. We just don't need the original orbits. We need the free look cam. Okay. So let's do that in between here. Z-axis, update, time, delta time. That grabs that. Min zoom, max zoom, Z-axis value. We will hard code that. Math F. Math F. Do I need to capitalize Math F? Yes. I am mostly a... Oh, nice. I love how it fills in the stuff for you sometimes. I am mostly a VB programmer. So some of this getting used to C#. It's good because some of our stuff at work is in C#. However, most of it isn't. So this is good practice for me. Why is it not pulling? Z-axis. This is good practice for me to get used to switching between the languages so darn much. There. Like semicolons everywhere. We VB heathens do not use semicolons. Okay. Still grabbing that. Oh, it doesn't. Oh, it's an axis state. It's not a float. That's why it has to grab the value. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so And it's good that I'm putting this before. Aha. See? I was put in the right spot to begin with. It's good that I'm putting this before these field of view calculations because it'll help determine the distance between the camera and the player. The player is, of course, virtual Rusty. Back to my screenshot, and so now we just need to assign. Let's see if we can do it to virtual camera. Virtual camera .m_orbits. Do we have orbits unlocked? Where is it? Orbits. We do not have orbits. Okay, free look cam, sim machine, free look. So we are gonna add in that code. Cinema machine. Free look. Now here is the tricky part because we do not have a free look camera, as far as I know. It might be. Okay, we're using Cinema Machine. We're using Unity Engine. Oh, there it goes. It did come up. Free look. Call it free look cam. And we're going to... I don't care about the original orbits, actually. I should? Cinema Machine, free look. Good. I should care about the original orbits, but I'm hard coding some of these things, so. Now we should be able to do the last part of the code. So we have the zoom scale. There we go. Free look cam dot m orbits. There's the orbits. Let's try 0. Let's see if that one works. M height equals close. It's not zoom scale. Is it zoom scale? Yeah, we might actually need to do the code like he has the code. Then we copy this whole thing again for a radius. Interesting that it's height and radius. So let's see if it works. Let's see if we can slap the code together. Fun thing is it might not work just because we're not using the first one. I probably should grab the grab those actually. Grab the original ones. Virtual camera. Ah, see, here's the Z-axis stuff. That's cool. Can we see this? There we go. Where on earth is... Let me check that code again. Private sim machine free look camera. Why is it private? Don't you need to drop a... Ah. Interesting. Okay. He sets the free look camera in code. Let's see if we can do that a different way. Oops. No, 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 no. Not that one, not that one. There. And what are we doing? Player follow camera? Player follow camera. Let's see if it allows us to do that. It might not. It will not. Okay, that is not what that is. That is interesting. Okay, how does this camera work? So that's my camera. And theoretically, it follows the orbits. It is a third-person follow camera. Aim do nothing. Transitions? Nope. So that is interesting. I think what I might do is table this for now and do this slightly different. We don't actually need to do that. Oh, there's see, VB programmer. Okay, we don't need that. We're going to take this one. So what we're doing is z-axis update is the scrolly wheel. And what we're going to do is just assign that to camera field of view. I'm going to copy this line. We know that one works, so I'm going to leave it as is. We're going to copy that, and we're going to times that times zoom scale. There. Okay, it does that after that, so that should be fine. So let's see how that works. Does that look okay? Okay, that looks okay. Moment of truth. Does not work. Oh, I remember why. Something I mentioned earlier briefly. Very briefly. We do not have mouse scroll wheel. I think we need, how do we set this up? Mouse scroll wheel is an action. Mouse scroll wheel, and it is a, let's do value. Axis. I believe it's an axis. Okay, that's not right. That is not a value. It's a pass-through. Mouse? Wow. Snapples. Welcome to Rusty's Rusty's game stream, game creation stream, where Rusty isn't quite sure. Mouse? You know, not keyboard. Mouse. There we go. Scroll. On the, is that scroll up or scroll down? Scroll Y? Can you scroll more? That's interesting. Auto saves. Drop this back down here. Which scrolly was that? Can we check the code? Access state, Z axis. The axis. Well, it doesn't listen. Much like myself. Well, we went up and down. So what would that be? That'd be Y, right? Theoretically. All right, let's give it a shot. No, that's not doing that. So let's try the other one. And if that doesn't work, we will auto saves. Okay. If that doesn't work, we will go look it up. And then, oh, geez, we gotta call it night. Okay, let's look this up real quick. Where was I looking up? Fonts? No, not fonts. Free look camera zoom. Access state property. There we go, there we go. How to zoom with cinema machine. Oh, I am actually impressed that Robot Rusty is doing as well as he is. Zoom Y axis. Okay, so I have the right axis at least. They are also using... No, they're not using... Min scale, max scale. Okay, that's fine. The axis value. Okay, this is definitely the code that saw earlier. Aha. The way you would manipulate an ornament car's field of view. Cool, cool. Yeah, that's exactly what I want. Oh, okay. The free look camera is slightly different. Well, we might have to table this, but we got a good start on it at least. Let's see, Unity, scroll wheel input. Button name for scroll wheel. Mouse movement, use third axis, which is normally the scroll wheel. Yes, yes. Supposed to detect scroll input, and it isn't. My mouse is working. Good. Yeah, yeah. Then pick the axis, most likely scroll Y mouse. scroll. Why? Keyboard, oh, maybe it's not supposed to be a pass-through. Okay, let's try that again. It might be reading it funny. So we're gonna try one more time. And then, because it might not be getting this access state due to the fact that it's not a free look camera. Camera field of view times zoom scale. We want to lerp the value, update time, delta time. Should be doing the mouse scrolly. Let's try that again. Let's give it one more shot. And then we're going to call stream because I got to get rolling. So we can still zoom in and out just fine. However, it is not capturing. Oh, wait, what was that? No? Oh, I guess not. Oh, scroll X. Dumbass. I used a swears. Okay, so that's the delta, middle button, pressure. Nice. Scroll. Y-axis. Using that control scheme. The thing is, maybe it's not supposed to be a pass-through. Button. Okay, let's try that one. It's supposed to be a value, isn't it? No, it's still not go. Okay, we're going to save it there. I'd say good enough for tonight. Good enough for tonight, he says. Say bye, Mr. Rusty? No? You're going to look away from us? You're not going to look at us? Here. Move your foot pedal here a little bit. There we go. Hello. Squint. Good. Oh, I definitely need to take care of that. And let's zoom in a little bit. There we go. Zoom in a little bit. We'll say good night. Let's bring back our window here. See what Twitch is looking like. All right, I think we're just gonna call it tonight. So, thank you all for stopping by. Glad we got to see Rusty again in all his Rusty glory here. So we are going to call it a night. And I'll see you next, the next Tuesday. All right. Catch y'all later. Bye.